Finally, let's look at how to generate figure 4.5, where we have Z1, that's the first principal component, Z2 is the second principal component, and then we want to look at all the observations for these two principal components. We want to plot the names of the companies and then see how they spread out, right? So we have to first build our data frame. Okay, so let's call this PCS, principal components data frame, right? And we want this to be a data frame, and we want to add variables to this. Okay, so we do PCS $X. Okay, remember PCS is our principal component results of that. So here is the X, where you have the actual principal component values. We want the first one and the second one. So we say comma 1. So that's the first one. All right. And then PCSX comma 2. So we have the two principal components, Z sub 1 and Z sub 2. And then we want the names. Okay. So we want the names from serial df dot name. Okay. So these three columns will be set up, but here we have to be careful. See, the serial data source has 77 observations, whereas the scores, PCSX is scores, right? Scores has only 74 observations. So the 3 observations are missing. Why? Because remember, there were some missing values in the data, so we used na.omit. So 3 cases were omitted, and that's the reason why the PCS results has only 3 of them. So we need to make sure, okay, if you run this as is, you're going to get an error. So so let's run it, and you'll have an error. So what we need to say is, you select only these names. Okay, if it is if that row, anywhere in that row, if there is a missing value, then don't include that name. Okay, so that's what we have to say. So serials.df.name. So that is that one column that we are looking at. Okay, and there is a function called complete cases. Okay, now if you say complete cases serial df, so it's going to figure out whether a given row has a complete case. Okay, if so, it will be true. If not, it will be false. So only the true ones will be selected. And now if you run, so there is no error. Okay, so PCSDF has 74 observations. We have the first principal component, the second one, and then the corresponding name. So let's give names to this. PCSDF. Okay, and we'll give Z1 as the first name, Z2 as the second name, and company name, right? So name as the third one. So now we have the data ready for plotting. So ggplot data equal to PCSDF, comma mapping equal to AES X is Z1, right? Y is Z2 okay. Now if you do a geom point, then it's going to plot just Z1 and Z2, okay, like that. But we don't want the points, we want the names. So if you want to keep the points and print name on top of that, then you have to do a plus here. But suppose we don't want point, we just want text. So you say geom text, and then we want labels. So that's a you need to do an aesthetic for that. AES label equal to name. Okay, and then we can say size equal to 2. So it'll, you can control the size when you print. So here is our Z sub 1 and Z sub 2 scatter plot, with each point in the scatter plot is plotted with the name of the company.